Hello everybody to a very important episode in the world of Project Ruby. Yes, that car that has been... It's a good car, isn't she? She went all the way to Kent to my friend Rob to take the car back to her previous owner. And I'll tell you what, she didn't miss a beat. Absolutely didn't miss a beat there and back. She was burning oil, but there wasn't a lot of oil burning. When I left my house, the dipstick was on the max. The oil was on the dipstick, I should say, on the max. By the time I got back, I didn't need to top up at Rob's. It was sort of between maximum and halfway. So there was some oil burning, and it was obvious in the tailpipe that it's doing that, but not horrendous. And it was given the run out at high speed for about 3 hours, maybe just over 3 hours, like 60, 65, sometimes 70, but generally 60 to 65 miles an hour, going through that lovely CVT box. My God, this car drives nicely. It is smooth, it is comfortable. I'll tell you, I won't have anybody saying that 80s, 90s Fiestas are rattle boxes that are uncomfortable and bouncy and wallowy. This car is nothing of a sort. It's so tight, it's untrue. There's one thing that came out of that trip, and that's my good friend Rob. Rob, I hope you're watching this, my friend. I love the week at yours and fun times ahead. The one thing that Rob made very clear is that when he owned Ruby, particularly on the drive back from buying it from Kieran, is that there was no burning oil. There was no smoke. There was no blue smoke. There was nothing. He didn't smell anything. He didn't see anything. And yet the moment I pulled up on the driveway at Rob's after that first journey and I arrived at his house, he was absolutely disgusted to see the smoke coming out of it. And yet, as you guys will know, the first video I did on revealing the car, that was day 2 of my ownership. The day before I had it off the ramp. It burnt oil from day 1. From the moment it came off the ramp on that trailer. Unbelievable. But what's happened, I don't know. We're struggling to put a finger on it and why it's doing what it's doing. Because usually we see VHs, as everybody has rightly told me, valve stem seals. No, they've been changed. There's something else going on here. And we might find out in this episode, because I've been quietly getting on with Ruby, stripping everything off that engine in preparation for that head to come off. And I can honestly say that we are ready to take the head off. The timing belt has been disconnected. All the cylinder head bolts have been cracked off in a good sequence, and they're ready to come out. The head bolts will be replaced with new ones. So let's get the head off, see what there is. Here she is, all disconnected. I've taken almost everything off that I could come off. The cooling system has been flushed out completely. I've done a lot of flushing. I've dropped the fuel lines, drained the tank, done everything, disconnected that battery, which I've just left there. It doesn't need to be connected. Everything is kind of off, apart from the starter motor and alternator, because I don't know whether or what length I'm going to be going to. I'm going to find out as soon as I do this. But literally, these head bolts, you crack them off in the reverse sequence to tightening, because they are stretch bolts and you cannot reuse these things. So that's why I'm going to take all of these out with the, as I say, these washers, keep these. I'll just keep that there. So I'm just going to take all these out. Now, sometimes you can check. I can see where it's actually threaded into the block. I might check the height of these, but the truth is, I doubt that that would be a problem. But anyway, these are all coming out, and I don't care if I mix them up because they're all going in the bin as far as I'm concerned. That one looks a bit gunky at the bottom. But yeah. Ugh. Damn it. Just take all these washers out. I don't really care. Or they're going in. I just don't want to lose them. So yeah, everything has been disconnected at the back. There was a little bit of just a little bit of coke in that breather, but we know that these are heavy breathers. I am going to do quite a few things, and I might mention this, but on the way back from Kent, Ruby developed a bit of a creak. So I think I'm going to be looking at the suspension on this car, because the steering was also a bit funny. If I just use my hand, 2 seconds. Hold on. Oh, it's quietened down a little bit. That's weird, it's quietened down. That was making a real squeaky noise, and I think it's the top mount that's gone on this. I'm going to be looking at the front suspension and maybe looking at changing the bottom arms, because I know the one on that side was down as an advisory on the MOT for cracking, but my MOT tester thought it was absolutely fine. But I can see cracking, so I'm going to sort that, and I'll probably end up getting the struts out. I might change the struts and the springs, make the suspension a little bit more fresh at the top. We'll see. Depends how this goes. This is the priority. There's a lot of gunk around there, but I'm going to get the head off in complete situ. Right, let's get this exhaust off. Sorry, it is a bit loose. Yeah, the head is a bit loose. Excuse me. Oh, come on. There we go. Just down you go. Lovely. Right, we'll get that gasket off, that exhaust gasket. Might be able to reuse that. There are a few things I'll be reusing because they've been renewed. But as you can see, we're all loose, top dead centre. Off we go. Come on, old girl. This is it. Oh, Jesus Christ, the dowels have come off. Oh, bloody hell. Oh. It doesn't get any easier, I can tell you. Oh. Jesus Christ. So, firstly, I'm going to bring you in here. Okay, I've just mounted it this way, so we're facing the normal way. What the heck is that? There's tons of oil down there. What the hell? How's oil got to that point? Oh my goodness. All these exhaust valves are completely and utterly trying to get the light in. Sorry, guys. That's absolutely gunked. Tons of oil. That's relatively dry. That's relatively dry. That's tons of oil. Let me see if I can tilt this backwards. Okay, let's just get that oil out. Oh, right, okay, now I need to look very, very carefully here, because what the fuck is that? Is that corrugated oil? Yeah, I don't know what that sort of stuff is, but there is a lot of... This is disgusting. This is going to need a complete decoke. Interesting, look at my spark plug tips. They're all orange. That's white. I wonder why that is. Well, number 3 was the suspect one, but my God, I think we might need to have a look at the valve seats. I think I'm going to have to get the seats refaced potentially with a head skim. But look at the amount of coke here. There's tons of it. Excuse me, my hands are getting really dirty. I'm looking for any sign of trouble, but I can't see any breakages between the cylinders. There's nothing there. There's just tons and tons of coke. Tons of it. Okay. Okay, right, let's go and have a look at the head on the block, I should say. Right. Gosh, okay, right. There's tons of coke. Tons of it. Every single cylinder. Thick coke. I'll tell you something though, this head gasket is okay. I can't see any breakages on it. Just take these dowels out. Excuse me, they're quite important. Just chuck these dowels down here. Oh my goodness. Look at this, guys. You can see the homing marks. No way. If I put my finger here, there will be a fraction of a ridge where the piston stops. Do you know something, guys? This needs a rehome here. Yeah. You know something? I think I can't see anything massively wrong with this head gasket. It's a multi-layer gasket and it looks to be in quite good condition. It's not splitting into pieces. It's still, well, I presume it's a multi-layer gasket. It looks like it's one piece, but there's no sign of any trouble. Turn on the back side. No. There'd be evidence between cylinders. There'd be cracks. No. There'd be tracking of oil. I was hoping to see if the oil was going in, but it just needs a clean. Okay. But this is really, it's a lot. But the amount of oil that has come... Wait a minute, how has oil got into there? All these valves, I think they're all shut. Okay, I'm going to have to do some tests on this cylinder head, probably with some petrol, and I'm going to see if we've got any valve leakages, because that's a funny one, that is. You just got the face. It's fine. Like, this just needs a linish. This is okay. I mean, cast iron blocks don't usually go funny. Whoa! I think we've got a coolant hole that's bunged up. Hold on. Is that... I can see the water jacket down there. Okay, we're going to have to flush that out. I think I've got to do a lot of flushing down here to get this unblocked. That's not good for the coolant. Nope, that is going to be an interesting job. I'm already thinking that I need to take this block out, to be honest. But I'm not going to go over the top, but I've got most of the engine out. But the amount of coke on the... There's a massive step here on the edge. There's nothing that I can see untoward, but why are those valves coated in oil? I am seriously going to have a look at every single... I mean... There's rust there. Ooh. Don't know if that might have been done. I'm feeling all the way around here. I'm going to have to drop these two pistons in a second, but this is fascinating. Well, I can see what I've got to work with, guys, but I keep going back to this. Why would I have tons of oil coming out of those two? Well, I'm going to leave this here. Now, going forwards, I've been making people aware that I am taking a bit of a YouTube break. I will be videoing the most critical jobs on Ruby that are being done inside this flat. Namely, this cylinder head is getting stripped down and rebuilt. New cam, new tappets, the lot. And I will do as much filming as I possibly can. But on the whole, it depends on time. I'm going to clean that block up and I'm going to assess whether to take the sump off and to go ahead with piston rings. I need to have a look at all 4 of these bores. I'm not satisfied that it could possibly be what I think it is. I'm going to do some tests where I'm going to try and get these cylinders evened out. And then I'm going to put some petrol or maybe some oil down, probably some oil down each of these cylinders, and we'll see if any of them are leaking it past, because this isn't right. I think I would like to take these out anyway to do piston rings. I think that these pistons, they need to be cleaned up, and this needs probably a bit of a DIY home. But I'm telling you, this has the marks of an engine that is, I mean, that is just an example. Can you see? Look at that. I'm sorry, if this is a worn engine, you wouldn't see any home marks at all. Not with the way it's burning oil. There's something stupid going on here. If any of you got any comments, please put it in the description. That oil in those valves, how has that got there when the valves are shut? There's something really weird going on with that. And this, they just need a decoke. I've got my work cut out, guys. I'll see you soon in another episode when I've got something interesting to show you. But it will be very minor episodes and very minor filming compared with what I've done previously on all my other cars. So here's some me and Ruby, the last episode of Ruby for quite some time. I've got my work cut out, as you can see. Take care, guys.